So what is the VAR supposed to be doing in La Liga? What is their purpose? And it says here that the VAR is allowed to intervene in 4 situations. Point number 1, when it comes to goals or no goals, VAR can check for offsides, encroachment, and if the ball crossed the line. Point number 2, whether there is a clear penalty or no penalty. VAR can check for contact inside the box, if it was a simulation or if the wrong foul was given. Point number 3, to see if there are direct red cards. VAR can check if the foul was serious enough, if it was mistaken identity, or if the wrong player was sent off. And point number 4, it is mistaken identity. VAR can check if the referee sent off the wrong player. So that is the whole purpose of VAR within the system of La Liga. But here's the thing, we did not see VAR justify the goal of Lewandowski. Barcelona have simply been robbed, and I am going to be explaining exactly why Barcelona got robbed and what Barcelona is going up against. It says here, according to Mundo Deportivo, that Barcelona will demand an explanation to La Liga regarding the offside call against Real Sociedad, not as a form of protest, but to understand the rules for the upcoming match. Now here's the thing, right? I understand that many might say, hey Kevin, can you just stop complaining? Can you be more self-accountable? Maybe you should worry about how Barcelona played after this call. But here's the thing, things like this have to be talked about, because what is the whole point of us competing when calls like this is going to be happening? Like when Barcelona do score clear goals, why do we have to have that feeling where we might not even get the goal in the first place because VAR might come out with a fantasy or a fake image, which is what happened in this game against Real Sociedad? I believe that the league has to be fair, because what is the whole point of Barcelona spending all this money, working hard with a team, making sure Barcelona is cohesive, united, but only for us to fall short because the VAR makes ridiculous mistakes like this? It's important to assess, because we also need to know how to compete. Like the report did state, Barcelona do not want to protest. They just want to understand the rules before the upcoming match. Because here's the thing, if calls like this are going to be made, if we're going to be seeing fake images and we're going to be seeing VAR make mistakes, we want to know that. We want to know that these people and the system, right, this machine called the VAR can make mistakes. Because once we know that, once we know these brand new rules that supposedly has been implemented by La Liga, then we can see, okay, how can we adjust moving forward? Because right now it is not clear. It is not clear to see that if Lewandowski is behind a defender, it can still be ruled offside. Because if this does not get called for, and we don't call them out for this, and we don't try to demand an explanation on why Lewandowski was supposedly offside according to the picture that they have generated, VAR are going to get very comfortable doing this over and over again. And let me tell you, that is going to be a big problem, because let's just say, for example, Barcelona face Madrid again later down this season, and they score similar goals to the goals that they score the first time we did face them, where we beat them at the Bernabeu 4-0. There's a chance that our goals might get ruled offside, because the goals and the type of goals that we have scored against Madrid in the first game this season, we were running from behind the defensive line. Rafinha made those runs. We were on point on making sure that we weren't offside. If we do that again and we see VAR make mistakes like this, let me tell you, Barcelona will not win 4-0. And if VAR also made mistakes like this in the match between Madrid and Barcelona where we won 4-0, that game would have never ended 4-0. Never. And so that is why I believe that Barcelona have to be very careful, and we have to know and demand the explanations from the VAR, and we have to call them out. It is very, very important, because it could dictate how we do finish off the rest of the season. I mean, like, go look at the Madrid fans and how they're acting right now. They're very confident that Barcelona might fall short and Madrid might go over. Makes you wonder, right? It makes you really wonder what they're thinking. It makes you believe that, yes, they know that the league is on their side. Now, you may say, but Kevin, look, the VAR is not perfect. Sometimes it can generate fake images, and sometimes, you know, maybe it made a mistake because it is the millimeters and they can't really calculate that, because the inches or the difference between the defender and the attacker is just so small. Sometimes it's hard for the system to be accurate. Okay, and that's fine. That's fine if VAR makes mistakes and they're not perfect and they can't calculate the millimeters between the defense and the attack. That is not a problem with me. I just want to know how the game is going to be played for the rest of this season so we can adjust our game. So for example, if we know that the VAR is going to be making mistakes and generating fake images, then we're going to have to be a team where we cannot really test the defensive line as much and be just on par with the defender. It's going to be too high risk. I believe that Barcelona would have to adjust their game where the attackers have to be far below the defensive line and attack from there. Because if we continue to go down this way where we're going to be testing out the defensive line, being right next to them, making sure that we take every millimeter before being ruled offside, there's a chance that VAR might just say, no, that's not a goal. It's just not, just because they feel like it. Now again, you may say, no, Kevin, you have to understand that the VAR was never perfect. They always make mistakes. They cannot calculate the millimeters and the difference between an attacker and a defender when it comes comes to those small little inches, VAR will make mistakes, Kevin. You just have to know that. That is the game. Well, here's the thing, okay? Let me bring you guys some evidence. In this match between Barcelona and Espanyol, which happened about 2.5 weeks ago, they were able to calculate the difference between the position of Hector Fort and the position of this attacker from Espanyol very well. And look, it's very similar to the one between Lewandowski and the defender against Real Sociedad. It's a very similar situation, but the VAR had no problem calculating the millimeters and the difference between these two players here. So why is it different now? Why was it different against Real Sociedad but not against Espanyol? Here is going to be another situation here against Espanyol where we saw one of the players from the right wing position. He ran and VAR was able to calculate the small difference between Valdez's position and the right winger of Espanyol, right? They were able to be that definitive and that detailed oriented in this game. So how are you going to say, right, that the VAR can make mistakes and they can generate fake images when they were running so perfectly against Espanyol? The VAR performed very well. So why is, like, really tell me, why is it different now between Lewandowski and the defender from Real Sociedad? So if you can calculate that, then why can you not calculate this, right? In this picture that shows right here in the top left corner, Lewandowski's foot is clearly behind the defender's right foot. And if the VAR cannot see that, and the VAR or La Liga did not have the cameras, right? Because this picture that we see here is coming from one of the fans that was watching the game. If they don't have the cameras or the technology to make a correct decision in this moment here, then they are doing a horrible job. A horrible job. Here it's also going to be a small video. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted, but here's going to be a small clip of Lewandowski being behind the defender. It never happened. Lewandowski was never offside. And yes, the VAR could have calculated this correctly like they did against Espanyol, but they did not do that. They made supposedly an error. And then we do have the VAR official at the Spanish Football Federation named Clos Gómez, who claimed this: we have advanced technology, 10 additional cameras. In the case of Lewandowski's goal, they work perfectly. The referee was informed of the offside and the goal was disallowed. Nothing new, which is ridiculous. I don't know why Carlos would say something like that. Like, okay, 10 additional cameras, but why did we only see like 3 to 4 different angles? And then he wants to have the audacity to also say like they have advanced technology. Nothing was advanced about generating a fake image. Hansi Flick also stated, it was clear. What I see is a very clear goal. If it was counted, the match would have been very different for us, which is what I was trying to explain yesterday. If Barcelona got that early lead in the beginning of the game and we scored that goal and that goal was allowed, it would have changed the whole thing. Barcelona could have won this match. So instead of focusing, right, like what you guys say, instead of focusing what happened after this call here within those 70 minutes, like, yes, Barcelona did not play well. The fact that Real Sociedad got the chance to see that Barcelona could not score a goal in the first 45 minutes, they gained confidence. Can you imagine if Barcelona scored that goal and it was allowed? They would have lost confidence. It would have changed the future of this game. And that is what Hansi Flick was trying to say. The match would have been very different for us if only we were to have scored that goal and it was legalized. But no, VAR said, hell no. We got the payment from Florentino Perez. Let's keep going. Hansi Flick also said, I have seen the images. The call was wrong. Lewandowski's goal was legal. I told the referee he was wrong, and it was a clear goal. And here's also going to be the pictures of the fake images that VAR have generated, right? It is pure fake. You can clearly see at the top picture that Lewandowski's foot is behind the defender, but then if you look at the bottom one, right, they just said, you know what, this right foot of the defender here, that is Lewandowski's foot, when it's really not. Like, how, like, do you think that Lewandowski's foot is like, he's a size 26 or something, like a size 29 or a size 30? Like, how long do you think his foot is? Like, why do you assume that the defender's toe is Lewandowski's toe? Clearly at the top picture, Lewandowski is behind the defender. Also, going to another fake image here on the generated picture coming from the VAR, you can see that they said, okay, this is the arm of the Sociedad defender. But then if you look at the picture on the right side, it is Lewandowski's arm. It is not the defender's arm at all. So this picture that was generated by the VAR, it is a fake image yet again. So it's like, what the hell, bro? Like, did the VAR just stop recording after Frankie de Jong took a shot, or did they create an image themselves? It's either one of those two. Trust me, bro. The VAR is going to show you what they want to show you. Whatever their agenda is, that is what we are going to be seeing on TV. This is going to be another example that was something that I found on X. You can see that there's a picture on the left, right, which is what actually happened. It is one of the Madrid players clearly offside. But this is going to be the picture that was generated by Soto working with the VAR that showed that he was never offside. But we know the real image. We know exactly what happened, which was on the left side. He was clearly offside, but these two are telling two different stories. And so this whole thing seems very fixed. Do you guys know that the ref that was on the field between Barcelona and Real Sociedad, that ref named Guillermo Cuadra Fernandez, he also made 3 very big mistakes before this. He was the one who, from the VAR, chose not to review the penalty by Tchouaméni on Araujo last season. A second thing that he did was he allowed Osasuna's illegal goal, which was their second goal against FC Barcelona, because before Osasuna scored that second goal against Barcelona where they lost 4-2, they did foul Pau Victor. But to the refs, Mr. Fernandez, he did not see this. So give me your thoughts on the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys believe happened in this game and whether VAR made the correct call or not. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.